What's up, guys? As you guys can see on the screen, this is not a Naruto character or any other character. Because today is special. I am going to...
Do I have a spoiler for you, Trunks?
Hold up. I was watching something. Don't question it. But, so as you guys can see, I'm doing an OC. I didn't really see anyone else doing this for quite some time around their, I don't know what ifs about themselves. But this is what if I, or what if I was a part of a devil hunting squad. So, my name in this is called Koshiki, or Kosha. I like Koshiki better because my friends call him Koshika. We call him Koshika. Kosh. So, basically, in this world that they live, there is many types of devils. High ranking, low ranking, and other devils. My character has a sword. It's a different from the one that's on his back right about now, because that sword is his real weapon. The other one is just a practicing weapon that he wears for now. Always gonna have that on his back, either way. He uses it for many other reasons, but while using it, he can summon his other blade, as you guys can see down there. But as everything was amazing at its potential, but let's go to the backstory of my character Koshiki. Also, don't question the four things you see there. Don't question it. His life was pretty hard. He was 5 years old, and he was very interested in stories of swordsmen and other people. His father was a blacksmith to continue his brother's footsteps, and Koshiki is a swordsman to follow in his great grandfather's footsteps and his uncle's footsteps. Well, his uncle, that means he will also be a blacksmith. But in this world, there were also magic and abilities. My character never really cared for his magic or his abilities. He was more interested in sword fighting. Sorry if the thing keeps flipping, it's a problem with my tablet, I'm gonna have to get that fixed. But, yeah. He was more interested in sword fighting, and his sword that you guys see at the bottom, he wields, it's a 0 tier. Now, not many people are able to wield a 0 tier. Now, I got this idea from someone, I don't remember who did it, but I really liked it, so it was a 0 tier weapon. They all have tiers into the weapons, and so but they were going to a devil hunting school. Allows them to fight devils and train and become stronger. No, don't question. Yes, he's finally made a new video. But don't question the hand at the bottom. I kinda messed up when I was coloring, well, doing my thing. So don't question it. But as you guys can see, this is how old he is now. Actually 19. His birthday was just yesterday, and he's a very good swords fighter. Now, after all that backstory, let's go into the current time. In the current time, he is training with his father. His father says, "Hey, kid, well, yeah, are you getting better perhaps at your blacksmithing?" Koshiki would look at him saying, "Yeah, why, Dad?" His dad would say, "I kind of need some help with something." Koshiki would say, okay, what is it?" Well, the dad would say, replying, saying, I need help with creating a weapon for someone that's special that could train you in your own and a way of sword fighting, since you don't have your own style yet. Yoshiko would think and say, okay, what type of material are we making? We're making a number one tier. A number one? He already knows how to make zeros, but he's making the number one for someone else. He can't exactly make because of reasons, and he's been banned from ever making zero, number one since the last time he made number one. He broke it in half because of a customer was being rude. Koshiki would just look at his father with the look of confusion, but he'll allow it. After that, they would head over to the guy's area. He was be wearing a fox mask and a strange looking outfit. Almost looked like a kimono. No, not a kimono. Why did I say that? He was basically wearing what Tanjiro was wearing in Demon Slayer. Judge Bulls, and watch that later. I should probably turn off all my notifications, but I don't care right about now. So, in the fight, well, not the fight. Oh my god, I'm getting really off track all of a sudden. While they were training, perhaps they were interested. Not train. Oh my god, they were talking about the weapons here and ones. Now you probably were like, wait, no, let me stop there. He was banned from making ones because of someone who was being rude, so he broke the sword. Yes, and since then he's been only make zero since he can't actually break zero swords. So, and if anyone catches him making a number one, they would ban him. Well, not only ban him, or kick him out of the thing. So, yeah. They would give it to a student, the student being a girl. Now the girl would look at Koshiki, confused. She would walk over, saying what her name is. Her name would be Yui Katsuki, and she's 15 years old. But tomorrow she's turning 16. Koshiki would be odd, but also confused, but not really caring, saying his name's Koshiki. He doesn't have a last name. Well, they do, it's just he doesn't like using it, because some people would always try to pay him respect and try to get on his good side. Hold up. I am back. So anyway, they got on his good side. He wouldn't allow it. So, that's it. As the two would walk away, as the person that they delivered the one tier weapon to would say, how about you two fight? Use your practice weapon, Koshiki, saying, you do realize my weapon is a 2 tier, not a 1. Fine. As he would throw the sword that you guys see in the picture that's on his back, saying, that's a 1, it should help you. Alright, the two would rush at each other, with Koshiki immediately getting the upper hand from experience. You didn't have any experience when it comes to fighting someone who's able to use a level 1 tier. Now, with that happening, they would fight and fight more and more, but for some reason Koshiki would always get stronger in his own way, by getting faster. Now all of a sudden, something changed one day. He started to use a different style. Now this style, no one knew it. So when the girl rushed him, he kept this blade. He kept this blade in like so it was like the flat of the blade just in front of his face. Now, as she rushed, he would drop the sword slightly. She would think this is surrendering and tried, but either way she didn't know into the world. So she would still try to attack. But as soon as that happened, the sword reached the ground and she was on the ground. And his sword was placed above her, saying, "You have to move quicker than that." And everyone was confused because there were some people watching the fight and they looked and saw something. But Koshiki's father realized something. When he dropped the sword didn't fall, and neither was it actually in the flat blade. What he did was he was carrying an after image. He was moving quick to make it seem like he was still like that. So it looked like he's dropping the blade, but actually the blade was in his hand and he was in the back of, and he sliced down, but not to the point where it would be, just to the point where she would fall over. Then he would go back to where the sword was dropping and kick her to the ground. This style was known as the vanishing style, his family's sacred technique, but they were banned from using it since no one ever knew the actual technique. Koshiki would got up, saying, well, not really getting up, you know what I mean. He would put the sword back down and just begin to walk away. As Yui would ask him, what style was that? I never heard of it. He would look at her, saying, it's not a certain style that many people can use, but it was also a style that people with strange abilities could use. It was a speed technique. And after saying that stuff, she was still confused, but speed technique, she would try it in her free time. Now, back in the fight, she did get a bit of it, but it was only for speed she got. Now, this is Koshiki would start to use his own style. Now, he would have this blade in his hand. He would pull it back, and he would swipe up. People would be confused. There was nothing coming out. But then, he would vanish from everyone's vision. That was known. He was doing a fake out. See, what I mean by that is when she wasn't close, he was trying to make a gust of wind. But she knew that, but she realized he did with less force. That was because he was trying to push the person back with mere force, but it was a fake out. So he rushed in. As the two began, the fight was he kept moving, he kept switching his hand over and over. The sword being the normal style of a and the other style of an assassin holding it sideways, and then the normal way, again and again. So he jumped up in the air, using the vanishing technique, appearing behind her, and doing a flash step, because she knew he was behind her. Immediately, she would look up in the air as he was. She would swing his blade down, again doing another fake out, and appearing back on the ground, rushing at her. Now this was all in a dojo, so everything was good. But he realized he wasn't really trying to hurt her. But that's the thing, he wasn't trying to for a reason. He was making a star, as he would stop at the end point of the star. But then everyone would look on the ground as the star cutting began to appear on the ground. He would raise up two fingers, having three of them down, and face them her way, as he would say, "Star technique. 7 blazing rings. No, 7 blazing swords." As soon as everything was said, and he moved forward, and the star broke. What chains began to appear and disappearing, but that was only an illusion. It was called Seven Blazing Swords for a reason, because when he struck, it showed many other images of him doing different strikes. Now the star was supposed to confuse the opponent of where he was. Now, because each star showed an image, even in the front, in the middle. But when he said the thing vanished, so that the after images, for reasons. The after images were 7 pieces, and they all striked. But that she wasn't down. She used her speed to get out of there right in time. As Koshiki that's what he wanted. As each time he would flash step, he would always put an input to the ground. But he didn't know that. Slamming his speed one last time, as his sword was in his hand. Yui immediately looked at him as she drew her weapon, and the two would hit. As he realized they were equally matched when it came to speed. As then they just began to keep hitting their swords over and over, and with each clash, thus began for more and more and more. Now, as each one of them clung to a wall, Huey would stand over Koshiki. As she was about to swing her sword, another dust appeared. As soon as they only see Koshiki standing, and then he would point to where Yui was, have her sword in the ground, and breathing heavily. She got up, saying, "I'm not done." As everyone realizes, this is the first time she's ever stand a chance. As this was because Shiki's new style was known as tension, heavy breath. What this would do is he would basically force the user into using all of their strength while doing flash steps and increasing his speed on the way. The star and the blazing slashes were just a copy of a technique that his family used. As now he would use the same attack he did yesterday. She would know this attack, but something was off about it. Everyone felt an immense pressure, as everyone would stop besides you. She couldn't sense it, but all of a sudden, he was right in front of her. As an image on the back begins to appear, it showed another figure with devil horns and a tail. The two, as his eyes were black and with purple eyes and light blue with a light blue slot in his eyes. The two, as it shows, he would hit her with the sword, saying, "Devil's Rampage," and slam her into the ground with the flat blade. As she was announced the winner, everyone was in shock by seeing the image, but the master of the dojo felt something was off about him. He caught a glimpse of one of his eyes switching the same color as the devil's eye, and then reverted back as soon as the attack hit it. But everyone was confused. Why did he call it Devil's Rampage? No one really cared besides the master. He was interested in the style, but he was more interested in the boy. As you and Koshiki after the fight would be more, well, an acquaintance and friends like, they started to hang out more. And two, they finally were entering the school. Now this means she is now 16 and he is still 19. Because at a certain age of his family, they would stop the age. And this would happen with everybody in the world. Everyone would stop to age at a certain point. Now, this was for a reason. Every kid had their unique span of aging. Adults But since the adulthood, they were already at their adults, they stopped aging at that point. As teenagers would stop aging at their point. So, kids were pretty. But, like again, like I said, he never went to know his abilities. Now, I will tell you, he has something known as purple flames. This ability was unique, but he also had another ability that he didn't know he had. And I won't explain that, I will only tell you about his purple flame ability. He's able to summon flames as you get it, enchanters, sword and flames, and other things. Like a fire golem and so and so. As the two just began to walk away, sorry, they would stop at the entrance and just run in. As they would bump into a kid who was a B rank. His name was Miller. Miller was 17, and that's his age when he stops. And he was pretty powerful for his own age. Even though he was a B rank, his magic included fire. Well, not really fire, more of ice. But he was able to condense it to where it looks to when steam came off and it condensed that into fire. It was icy flame. But it's mostly ice. He mostly uses. He doesn't really use the fire. As I would say, oh, sorry if I got in your way. Because some people were able to sense the amount of ore coming from all. Now everyone's able to sense it. The only person who could have beat them her name was Scott. She was another 15-year-old girl. She was at the top ranking. She was rank 1, which means she was an S rank swordsman and devil hunting. She was already taking on several high level demons and devils, to the point where she earned the name the Devil Killer, or as most people call her, the Demon Princess. And so, yeah, not many people, but Koshiki and Yui really didn't care for this girl, as they would go to class with Miller sitting all the way at the back. Not to get any attention though to him, as he was the first one to walk in. Now, the teacher say, we have 2 new students. May you guys come in. As she walked in, every guy began to stare, because, let me tell you, she was pretty cute. Let's see. But not Koshiki's type. Well, I'm going to explain that later, but let's just say a couple things happened in the future, and yeah. But, but, she was pretty nice. Now, I should probably give you guys a pretty, picture of what she looks like. Basically, she had short, long hair that reached to, her shoulders. She wore the uniform, obviously. She was pretty tall, even for a 6-year-old, but she wasn't as tall as 16-year-old, and she was unique, I guess you could say. And other things, but yeah, she was cute, you could say. I just lost the guy's thoughts. Kushika just thought she was annoying. As she would walk in saying her name is Yu Katsuki, and explaining what rank she would probably be at school, probably an A rank user, a swordsman, and her ability was very unique. It was also something that convinced her was when she managed to spread around her body and condense it to a shock type thing. So basically making it like glitches. She mostly used that when she was using her sword to enhance it much further. Now, when Koshiki entered the room, everyone just did nothing. They didn't look at him, and he kind of liked that. The only person who was paying attention was Miller and Yu, and Sky in the back, too. She was just interested since he seemed pretty strong. Now, people were. Now he would say, "My name is Koshiki. Nothing, no, nothing, nothing else you need to know." As one of the kids would yell, "So you don't have an ability?" This would catch his attention, saying, "Do you want to get burned to a crisp?" Saying, "Oh, so you have a fire ability then." As soon as people said that, Sky immediately lost her interest because the last fighter had a crush on her and she easily defeated and didn't care. But Koshiki was different. She could tell, and so did everyone in the room. He was a cold kid. He wouldn't care if they're human or demon. He would possibly kill them. Now, as he said that, as he released a lot of his bloodlust, because the last person who said that didn't end up so well to what he did. So therefore, he hates every guy who calls him, or even announce that he's a fire user. He would release. Everyone would feel it, even the teacher, and this is like high immense. You would tell him to calm down from the crowd, and he would, because they're friends, and because he wouldn't want to get in trouble with the dojo again. Since last, he had to clean the border, and she was kind of like a snitch. Oh, power's getting low. Let me just put down the charger. But anyway, still, he was pretty strong. Even for his own, he was unique. He never really used his power. Besides that, as class ended, Sky would walk up to Koshiki and ask him a question, saying, "Are you powerful?" Hmm? He would look at Sky, because he would say, "Yeah, I'm powerful. Took down my entire school with zero ease." And this is actually true. My character was pretty powerful. Everyone, even S ranks and A ranks, had problem fighting him with his swordsman style. Now, he had other styles, but he mostly used his own. And so, intention heavy breathing, as she would want to fight him in the training arena, or in the arena. And so, when everyone heard her say the arena, everyone thought this person made her mad. So they wanted to see how this would go. As you wanted to see too, seeing her getting her mop at the floor. As teachers still allowed it since there's no really real class right after. They only had one class. So, as the fight started, everything was different. She was shown to have a lower hand, and she was losing to Koshiki. That's because he was very lazy at the time, and he didn't really care. He just didn't want any attention to be drawn to him, so he forcefully tried to make himself lose. But he's certainly gotten happy because it's been a long time since, besides you, he was someone to make this fight last long. As soon as the fight, he remembered Yu's face, and he immediately felt annoyed and happy to fight someone that possibly could be as strong as you to keep up. As the two would rush at each other. As like I said, she was losing the lower hand. He kept swinging his blade ruthlessly, just up and blocking. Her attacks easily getting hits in. Teachers were amazed, and so as students. Huey and Miller, well, Miller was more impressed. He was like, "That's him for ya." I was like, "What do you mean?" This was him since he was born, I'm guessing. since I haven't known him for quite some time, he was pretty tough on his own. His strength was pretty high, and his speed was pretty immense. Not many people could easily fight him and get away with it, or make it out alive. What? Don't worry, as long as the school has heavy protection, she should be good. As the fight commenced and continued, she was as soon say, well, as the after image would soon appear and he would win the fight. Now, I said Sky did have a chance at beating, but she couldn't. Even if she tried fighting you, you would always win, even though she was stronger. She was mad at this, but announced them as those two as a rival, and someone she wants to get better. But she was interested in Toshiki more than you. Toshiki was a lazy kid and a chill one. She wanted to get to know him, see if he had any weaknesses with his style, any flaws. But he covered all of them with you. Even there were some flaws, so he had to cover them all. So, and I'm ending it here because after this we'll get into another point. And that is when to take on our second mission, or the first mission. Reason why I'm extending because there will be a skip of a week and a month. So that's why I'm gonna make it. Hope you guys please like and subscribe, and I'm gonna continue this. I'm probably gonna do 5 parts of this. If you guys want more of this part, comment if you guys want to do me to do 10 or how many you guys want. But I will be ending it here. And peace.